So start just by sitting comfortably and focusing on the breath, the inhale and the exhale. Spending a few moments here just following the breath in and out through the nostrils, trying to clear our mind of any external distractions, anything that may have happened prior to you getting on the mat, anything that might be happening afterwards. And just focus on that breath in and out. And then slowly start to bring yourself into an all fours position. We want to stack the wrists and elbows underneath the shoulders, the knees underneath the hips, a nice neutral spine. And we'll start to take a couple of cat-cow stretches here. So inhale, you're going to arch through the back, send the chest forward. Exhale, scoop the belly up, draw the navel to the spine. Again, inhale, dropping the ribs down, bring the shoulder blades together. Exhale, scoop everything up, tucking the chin and tailbone under. Keep moving with your breath. Inhale to arch, exhale to curve. And last time, we're going to lift the right arm up on an inhale. As you exhale, slide it through the space between your left hand and your left knee. And then bringing your left arm up if you wish and wrapping it around your back. You don't have to take the arm up and around the back. You can just leave that hand down underneath the shoulder. Again, once you've got into this position, breathing here. And then we'll inhale and exhale back to our all four position. Taking it on the other side, left arm raises up, slide it through into that space between hand and knee. And if you want to, adding that top arm. Breath is steady. Come back up to your all fours position. Now tucking the toes, we're going to lift the knees off the floor. We're going to engage down through the hands, navel to spine, and you're pushing down into the balls of your feet. We're then going to slowly exhale into a turbo dog position. So keep the knees bent, but push the weight back into the sit bones as we hold here for a few breaths, trying to get the nice length down the spine and space between the shoulders and the ears. And now straightening the backs of the legs, we come into downward facing dog. Your next inhale, you're going to find a high plank position, so maybe you need to walk the hands out. Exhale, drop the knees down. Bring yourself back to turbo dog and then straighten the legs. So let's do that with the breath. Inhale, plank. Exhale, drop the knees. Don't let them fall to the floor. Inhale, turbo dog. Exhale, straighten the legs. Inhale, plank. Exhale, drop the knees. Find bear pose. Exhale, back into your turbo dog and then straighten the backs of the legs, downward facing dog. We're going to come through that little flow one more time. There's 4 positions and 4 breaths. Now take the gaze to the space between the hands. Slowly walk the feet up into that space. And then from there, just hang, let the weight of the head, let gravity do its work as you hang forward. Maybe you want to grab opposite elbows and have a swing from side to side, or nod the head yes, shake the head no, to release any tension from the lower back and the neck. And then we're going to drop the hands and slowly roll up to standing. We're going to keep a little bend in the knees as we roll up, stacking the vertebrae one on top of each other. Head will come up last. And then we will step to the top of our mat or bring our feet together and start our sun salutation A. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, fold the body over. Inhale, take a half lift. And as you exhale, you're going to come back through your plank pose to the floor, chaturanga, or lower the knees and chest. Inhale, cobra, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. We are going to breathe for 5 deep inhales and exhales here in downward facing dog. And then on your next inhale, you're going to look to the space between the hands. You're going to step up into that space, trying to get the feet in line with the hands. Exhale as you let the head hang heavy. And inhale, pushing the feet into the floor, drawing energy up through the inner thighs. Bring the arms up over the head. Exhale as you bring the hands down. And again, inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, take a half lift. Exhale, fold the body back to a high plank and low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. 5 breaths here. Inhaling and exhaling evenly, equally. Trying to find our 4 points of contact with the mat. So we've got our fingers spread nice and wide. We're pushing down not just with the palm of our hands, but with the backs of the fingertips, back of the thumb, the outside edges of the feet. And inhale, look forward, stepping or jumping up into that space again. Exhale, fold your body over. Inhale, a big rise up with the body and the arms, and then exhale, lower the hands down. Inhale, we're going to bend the knees, sweep the hands down, and then keep the bottom out, chair pose. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, take your half lift. Exhale, back to your high plank and low plank. Inhale to your upward facing dog. Exhale to your downward facing dog. Inhale, step the right leg forward, drop that left heel in and down, bring the torso up, warrior one. Exhale, make your way all the way back down to the floor through your chaturanga. Inhale to cobra or up dog. Exhale to down dog. Inhale, step the left foot forward, drop the right heel, warrior one, bring the torso and arms up. Exhale, all the way back down again. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale to your downward facing dog. Steady the breath back down and concentrate on space that you're creating in the body. Trying to find where the body needs a bit of extra space, a little bit of release. Working into those spaces. As you inhale, you're going to look forward, stepping or maybe hopping into the space between the hands. Fold the body over, now bend the knees and find that chair pose again. So we're trying to draw our knees and inner thighs together. We're drawing our navel to the spine and bringing our arms up by our ears. And then exhale, bring your hands to heart center to prayer pose. Twist to your right side and drop your left elbow to the outside of your right knee. Try to keep your prayer hands in the center of your chest, opening up toward the ceiling with your right shoulder. You can look up to the ceiling if it feels okay on the neck. We're going to take a big step back with our left leg. So we come into a lunge, and now adding, if you want, to drop that left hand to the outside of the right foot and bring the right arm up to the ceiling. You can keep the hands in prayer pose here if this feels too much. On your next inhale, we're going to bring ourselves up to a crescent lunge. So bring the torso up and one arm, your left arm forward, your right arm back. Feel as if you're being pulled to the front and back of your mat. So you're getting a twisting and opening. Next inhale, you're going to bring your arms up over your head, crescent lunge, and then sending the elbows away. Cactus out the arms to the side, opening across the chest. Keep those legs strong. Squeeze the inner thighs in toward each other, maybe adding lifting of the chest and the sternum up to the ceiling. Exhale, bring the hand back down to the floor. And we're going to shift the weight into the right leg, the front leg, lifting the left leg off. So we're into a variation of our warrior 3 pose. From here, you can challenge yourself by lifting your chest up and then taking either a block or a book just in front of your right shoulder. Try to stack your left hip on top of your right hip and see if you can bring your left hand up. Maybe you just bring the left hand to the waist. Half moon pose, Ardha Chandrasana. Bring that hand back down, square the hips back up and see if you can drop that left foot in line with the right foot without bending it. Exhale, fold the body over. Inhale, take a half lift. Exhale, come back to high plank and drop to the floor. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, take the gaze to the space between the hands, stepping up, maybe jumping up into that space. Bending your knees and coming back up to your chair pose. Squeeze everything into the midline. Bring the hands down the center into the chest, thumbs to the chest, prayer pose, and then twist to the left, take your right elbow to the outside of your left knee. Gaze is up towards the ceiling or straight to your left side of your mat. Trying to square the hips up if you can. Draw that right hip back, left hip forward, and then step that right foot as far back as you can to come into a twisted side angle. So again, you can drop your right hand down to the outside of your left foot and lift your left arm, or stay in prayer pose. Just squeezing the inner thighs towards each other to stabilize the legs. Inhale, bring the torso up. Keep the twist going. Keep the right arm pulling to the front of the mat, the left arm to the back. Keeping the legs strong. Inhale, bring the arms up. Bring yourself to face the front of the mat again for crescent lunge. Exhale, send the elbows away from each other. Just using this stretch in the arms or lifting the chest up, maybe even lifting the chin up and head back. And then exhale, drop your hands down, shift your weight into your left leg. Variation on warrior 3 pose. So you can use blocks here. Try to lift the chest and come up onto the fingertips for a breath or two. And then maybe using block or book to steady your left hand just a little bit in front of your left shoulder. Bring your right hip on top of your left hip, open to the right side of your mat with your chest and hips. And if you want to add that left arm up toward the ceiling, think of everything moving away from the center of the body, from your core. Lifting your right leg back and your left arm up. Now exhale, bring the right leg back down. Fold the body over. Exhale, lift and lengthen on an inhale. Exhale, step back and lower down to the floor. Inhale to an upward facing dog or a cobra. And exhale to a downward facing dog. Now we're going to drop the knees back down to the floor, release the toes and find a nice child's pose to take a few breaths here. Start to slow the breath down a little bit, even if it's just by 1 count. As we come to the floor stretches, we're going to take slightly longer holds. And we want to equalize the breath again. Now come to cross-legged seated position with your right shin crossing in front of your left shin. Bring your left hand to the outside of your right knee. Take your right hand a little bit behind your hip. Pull up out of the pelvis, navel to spine. Start to twist around towards your right shoulder. Keep thinking about length in the spine here. Now bring yourself back to center. We're going to swing that right leg around and we're going to find this deer pose or swastika. So we have knees in line with heels, Knees in line with hips and heels, should I say. We're going to come forward and then make our way over to our front knee. That's our left knee. And just let the body relax down for a few breaths here. As you inhale, you're going to bring your body to center. Now take your weight over into your left hip. And we're going to bring the right leg back straight behind us, rolling onto the top of your right thigh, knee and shin. Try to square the hips up to the mat. Pigeon pose. We're going to drop the head back down to the floor. Try and relax into this pose. And breathe deeply in and out through the nostrils. Slowly start to bring your torso back up. Walk your hands back underneath your shoulders and bend at the knee on your right leg. If you can, reaching behind with your right arm to grab the inside of your right foot. And if you can't reach the foot yet, just reach behind you, or maybe even using a strap or some variation of a strap to grab hold of that foot. Now bringing the hands back under the shoulders, fingers spread wide, tuck the right toe and push yourself back up to a downward facing dog. And just pedal through the legs a couple of times here. Drop the knees back down, roll yourself back onto seated, and this time we're going to take the left shin in front of the right shin. Easy cross-legged twist. Bringing the right hand to the outside of the left knee. Left hand behind you, start to twist around to the left shoulder. Always, when twisting, we're thinking about lifting up and out of the pelvis, drawing the navel to the spine, and growing tall through the spine, taking the gaze all the way around to the back of the mat or the back of the shoulder. Square up to the front again, this time releasing that left leg behind you, coming into your deer pose. Forward. And then over to the front knee, the right knee. Relax here. Think about drawing that left hip down to the floor. It's a preparation pose for pigeon. And if you don't feel comfortable in pigeon, you can always hold this deer pose for twice the length of time. Start to bring yourself back to center and roll onto the top of the hips, straightening out that left leg, rolling onto the top of the thigh, knee and shin. And again, find yourself somewhere comfortable to bring your torso down. Bring your head into your hands or rest them on the mat in front of you. Breath is steady and equal. Start to make your way back up to King Pigeon with your torso first, then bend the knee, reach round, maybe grabbing hold of that foot. Try to get that opening in the left shoulder as you reach to your left foot with your left hand. You may even want to slightly raise the chest or chin to get that feeling of openness right across the chest. Exhale and release the foot. Bring the hands back underneath the shoulders, spread the fingers wide, send yourself back to downward facing dog. Pedal through the legs, just bringing the life back into the legs, and then slowly start to release back down to the floor. Come back to a child's pose, just taking a few breaths here. Feel that lovely stretch from the fingertips all the way down to the sit bones. Notice the breath in the back of the ribs, expanding and contracting. We're going to swing the legs around. And we're going to lie down onto our backs. Bring the heels in as close to your bottom as you can. Maybe you can touch the backs of the heels with your fingertips. Good. Start to feel like you're zipping up a zip and send your pelvis up high. Shoulder bridge. We're going to roll the shoulders under, maybe interlinking the fingers underneath the bottom. Push the hips up, squeeze the inner thighs toward each other. Push down onto the pads of the big toes and push down into the backs of the hands and the outside of the arms. Now slowly allow your back to drop back to the floor. Hug both knees into the chest. A little rock from side to side here. Just massaging the spine into the mat. Now keep your right knee in with you. Straighten out your left leg. Take your right arm out to the side and use your left arm to guide your right knee over to the left side of the mat. Option here to take the gaze to that right hand. Just relaxing into the right side of the body as we supine twist. Slowly bring yourself back to center. Release the right leg, hug the left knee in again. Right arm is going to come out to stabilize you on the floor. Left hand is going to guide your knee across to the right side of the mat. Breathing steady and evenly. Remember, if we're not breathing, we're not doing yoga, we're just stretching. So really focusing on the breath as we slow everything down now. Bring both knees back to the center and hug your chin up towards your knee to round the back. Try and really bring the lower back off the floor. And then as you exhale, you're going to come to your final resting pose. Find this Shavasana. Find a comfortable position. You may want to add clothing, a blanket, turn the lights off, maybe an eye mask. Just do whatever you need to do here to feel comfortable and safe, warm, protected, so that you can allow the body to drop into full relaxation. No need to think about the breath in this posture. Just let the breath come back to its natural rhythm. Keep the eyes gently closed. Try and release any tension in the jaw or across the forehead. And just allow yourself to be present and relax. Start to bring some awareness back into your breathing now. Just follow the inhale and exhale slowly, becoming aware of your body on the mat again. Start to bring some small movements back into the body. When you're ready, start with maybe fingers, toes, moving the head from side to side. And again, when you're ready, taking any movement now that feels good in the body, just to wake up the fibers, the muscles, the connective tissue, anything that feels good. Slowly begin to take yourself over to one side. When you're lying on your side, just pausing for a moment here, as we often do, to think of one thing you're grateful for today. What's going to make your day epic? Bring yourself slowly back up to a comfortable seated position. Any comfortable position that you can sit in with your back straight, relaxing the hands down. Close the eyes again and bring that attention back to the breath, back to the inhale and exhale. If the mind becomes distracted with thoughts, that's okay, that's normal. Bring the attention back to your next inhale. Notice the inhale and then the exhale. The next inhale and the next exhale. Bring your hands together at heart center to conclude your practice, and then bring your thumbs up to the space between the eyebrows. Take a bow down with your head. Give thanks to yourself, your body, for coming to practice today. The light in me honors the light in you. Thank you for joining me. Any questions, please feel free to email me. If you want more yoga, please go to the website or my Instagram page to find out about Zoom classes. They're an hour long. I hope to see you on the mat soon. Thank you.